Welcome back to 278 Sports Street. As always, I'm Bobby LaFavor, and I'm joined by...
Hello, I'm Jacob Miller.
All right, we got some stuff going on this week. We got spring training starting up. Got the first week going. We got some free agent deals, like last-minute things. And lastly, we're going to actually go and dive into the winners of the offseason. All right, Jacob, where do you want to start out?
Yes, sir. Baseball's back. Spring training, dude. First week. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
I'm loving a lot of the teams that I'm seeing. There's some, you can't really make a bold prediction of what's going to happen this season based off of spring training. You got a lot of younger guys that they're trying to get a look at. You got a lot of guys that are kind of trying to find their stride now. It's kind of getting used to the team.
Oh, yeah, past about the fifth inning, you don't even know who's in at that point.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, first team, I'll just go division by division. First team that I liked from the AL East was the Blue Jays.
Made a lot of big pickups this offseason.
The first thing that I liked was putting Springer in the leadoff spot.
Yes. We were talking about that, actually. I really like him out of the leadoff spot.
Mm-hmm. I think, and I believe it's gonna be Springer, Simeon, and then Bichette.
That's a good top three right there.
I like that a lot. With Springer in the one, you're gonna get on base for Simeon. Grab a walk, run him over, and Bichette has been getting on base.
They need that, especially with his speed.
And that's all that matters with Bichette. He's not gonna hit 40 tanks a year, but he'll hit 290. It's that I would trade for that little trade-off for that free spot, because behind Bo you have Vlad Jr., Luis Gurriel, and Calvin Biggio.
Well, that comes down to do you want people to get on base or do you want people to hit home runs? And that's what you got to decide when you're building the team.
And I think the Blue Jays did it right with Springer's not really a contact hitter because he can hit a tank if he needs to.
That leadoff spot, sometimes you want that.
Yeah, because he's versatile at the plate. He can hit a home run, he can steal a base, And then as soon as you get into that 4, 5, 6, they're just straight power hitters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to really propel them in the East over teams like the Yankees.
Yeah, if you look at the Yankees' last spring training game, didn't go too hot for them. 15-0 to the Phillies. It's still early, so you can't really say anything, but that's not a very good spot to be in right now.
Yeah, and the bad part is I know this is why spring training is starting off. Half the guys probably in that lineup have never played a big league game.
Exactly. This is just them kind of showing off what they got.
And that's one of the things I don't like about the early version of spring training, just because you have guys who, I don't, no disrespect, but they're nobodies.
Yes.
You're in the league, that's awesome, but I know when I watch the Yankees game, I want to see Luke Voit, Aaron Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton.
But when you look at a team like the Mets, they're an injury-prone team because I don't know what it is, but they're just injury-prone. So you want to kind of save your star players for when you get to the regular season. Get them a couple of innings here or there. Like Stroman, he went out, got two innings. He's probably going to get another maybe 2 or 4 innings.
Yeah.
They're just going to go out there and they're kind of just going to get the rust off, shake the rust off. But other than that, they're kind of just out there to get looks at younger guys.
Yeah. I think something that's going to affect the Blue Jays through spring training is going to be, Nate Pearson going on the DL now.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into that much, so I'm not really sure what's going on with him, but I know that them losing him is a big piece in that rotation that they're counting on this year.
What was the exact injury?
I believe it was a strain arm.
Okay. It's possible to come back, but I think that they're going to take their time trying to bring him back.
I would rather see Nate Pearson be put on an innings limit this year, and him come back next year and keep the reins off. This year's just going to be too risky. If he's coming to spring training already getting injured, that's not a good start. That's not a good start for the Blue Jays pitching as pitching on they need.
Well, starting out the season with injuries is never a fun time because any team you look at when they start spring training out with an injury, it's tough to come back from, especially with a star player like that. Let me look at another team I want to kind of just touch on. I know I say this every week, but the New York Mets are looking pretty nice right now. This past game, they had Pete Alonso go yard for a grand slam. They got Alvaro Mora going yard a couple times. They got Jack McNeil going yard, Brandon Nimmo going yard. They built a power hitting team, which they never would have thought from the Mets.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I think Franklin Lindor now transitioning into a power hitter made that what it is.
It rounded them off a little bit.
If you still hit for contact, I think it wouldn't be as strong. But when you put any like Freeman or Bliss, like City Field, I think. That's a short. Both sides of the field.
Yeah, that part of that.
He's a switch hitter. Now he is that double but I think really can help them.
It's crazy to look at City Field now because back in their inaugural season in 2009, that was a big stadium.
Yeah.
And then a couple years down the road, they installed that party deck and turned it into a hitter's ballpark.
Now it's Home City.
Yeah. So there's a couple teams to keep an eye out on and just make sure that we look out for them up in the seasons. But still,
I bring up
Okay.
I want to talk about the Angels.
Okay.
LA Angels. How do you feel about Shohei Ohtani?
Shohei Ohtani is one of the, he's a freak of nature. That's the best way I can put it. He goes out there and he goes. What did he do this past spring training?
In 2 games, he's hitting 600. That way, I would say 30 to 40 better.
And then what about on the other side?
First starts today.
Okay. So if he goes out and he goes like I would probably say he's one of the most in-state baseball players of all time. So him and John last year. How much longer? So he's 26 right now. How much longer do you give him to a player? I would probably say about maybe another like 3 years, and then hop into transition just like DH, just the first baseman. Really. I think even like Joe Mauer catching. Like he couldn't do it for that long. He switched over to first base. So when these guys get older, they have to transition, so they're able to continue their career. And I mean, you see what he does with the bat. So granted, he's an amazing pitcher, but if he can do that, I think he's going to keep him around.
I just want to highly disagree there.
You don't think they're going to keep him around just because he's bad?
No, I think he's 26 years old. When he usually stops playing baseball. 35, 37.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got 10 years.
I don't think that hurts
to be a two-way player.
I don't think that hold up.
Why?
He just got Tommy John, and he's a player. He's eating his body down every single day.
All right. So how about this? I'll devil's advocate here. You get your start every 5 days.
Yes.
So that's obviously in the mix. The day after, take the rest day for your arm. The next day, but I would put in the four slot and make this a little easier for yourself. When the five pitchers, 5-2, the guys that need hitters for, put them in the lineup. When you don't need them for 4, you get to rest that day, 4 pitches. Because if you come out with 25, 15 wins.
I mean, I would love to see him do that. The way that he's playing right now is just not no one for it. Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I think
because you're
let him get healthy. If he can stay healthy, not produce numbers, not win a Cy Young or anything. Just stay healthy and on the innings limit this year. I think by age 27 he will be absolutely amazing.
I mean he's an amazing player, but I'm just saying like
I'm saying on both sides of the ball.
On both sides, yes, he is, but you go out playing like he's a high schooler and he's 26 years old, whatever he is.
Exactly. I like that.
I like it, but it's not.
And that's why I think he'll be.
It's not sustainable. I'm telling you.
We've seen it with Tatis. Sorry.
We'll see. I mean, I would love to see it, but I just don't see it continuing to be a factor in his play. All right, moving on. Let's move into some free agents. I know that we just had a big one yesterday with Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah,
that was a big one. I mean, you got an amazing job in the outfield, decent bat coming from the Red Sox. And where do you end up?
No idea.
Jackie Bradley Jr. Let's look this up real quick. I mean, he's just a great all-around player. So wherever he goes, he's just going to make a difference. Oh, he's going to the Brewers. That outfield. I think he's going to be a good part of that outfield. Got Christian Yelich right, Jackie Bradley center, and who's their left fielder? The bottom of the line is Jackie Bradley Jr. is going to go out. He's going to produce for you. He's going to make sure that he keeps that outfield unlocked. I mean, some of his web gems are just amazing to watch.
I like him going to the Brewers because it's a controlled ball.
Yes.
him having that outfield ability now takes the weather element out of it. You're not going to have those 40-mile-an-hour winds like you have at Fenway. You're going to have a controlled climate stadium, I think, where he's going to thrive.
What do you think it's going to be like for him transitioning from playing on a field like the Green Monster, having to play the ball off of that? It's going to be a little bit different for him.
I think it's going to be different, but you also remember he's an MLB.
He's an MLB superstar, so he can play anywhere, but
He's played in too many stadiums that are similar already. Tropicana Field.
yes.
That's my one right there. It was in his division, so he's used to playing in that indoor controlled climate turf stadium. I think I don't know the splits for Tropicana versus Fenway, but I think if he can just produce the same numbers. He was never a great hitter. He was a good hitter, never great. If he can just be a good hitter and he studs defensively, I think that'll definitely help the team.
He's going to go out, give you like a 250 batting average. He's going to get on base. He's not going to go crazy with the home runs or anything.
But you know what you're getting when you see him.
I would say he'd be a good person to round out that lineup. Maybe be like a good 7 or 8 hitter.
Yeah. Actually, I have some that are still on the market that I actually kind of like still. Jake Odorizzi.
I can't believe he's not signed yet.
This is my theory on Jake Odorizzi. Something must be wrong.
You think there's something like injury-wise?
He just came back from getting surgery, I believe, on his shoulder. The Mets, or not the Mets, the Twins owner said we wish him luck in an interview. That's not something you usually hear. So I think something must be seriously wrong with his arm or physical that he hasn't been signed yet.
Because I know the Mets were really eyeing him up, and I mean, Mets have just been going all out this past offseason. They just go out and get whoever they want really right now.
Yeah.
So the fact that they haven't got him, I mean, that does raise some red flags.
I think the places that he should go are Houston or Cincinnati.
I think he'd be a good fit in Cincinnati. They're building up that team right now.
I think he'd be a great fit in Cincinnati. When you have a lineup that is just absolutely devastating like that just hits home run after home run after home run, you need someone in the rotation that's going to hold that down besides Sonny Gray. Your one pitcher isn't going to let up a run. Great. What about the other 4? What about your entire bullpen? You have Amir Garrett. He can be your lockdown lefty, but who else besides that do you really have?
Yeah.
I think take the risk on Odorizzi. Worst case, sign him for a 1-year deal. He's gone next year.
If he's going to be an unsigned free agent, I bet you he'll sign for cheap and for a small deal. So,
yep.
I mean, if the Reds really have no other option. I mean, they're not going to...
And the Reds are a budget team.
Yes.
They're a budget ball team, which is why I think Odorizzi would fit right into that puzzle.
Reds really don't have anything to lose this season, honestly.
No,
they're not a standout team right now.
They're not going to win the Central. I think, the Cardinals, kind of have the Central on lock, and then Brewers are in second.
Yeah.
Reds, unless they can hit 12 homers a game, aren't going to win.
No. Reds are a very veteran-heavy team right now, honestly.
So I'll bring this one up to you, too. How do you feel? What about Yasiel Puig?
Yasiel Puig. I mean, the man has put in work this offseason.
I know he's a hothead. I know he's had the problems in the past and everything. I think a team like the Marlins or the Mariners would be a perfect fit for him.
Take a chance on him.
I wouldn't even say take a chance because I think he'll put up numbers. I think if he's in an organization like the Marlins or the Mariners, they're known for getting those international prospects and building sort of a more international style team.
I'm not saying in terms of his production. I'm saying in terms of the publicity. Because
publicity would go off the charts.
Puig is a superstar. Like when he was on the Dodgers, everyone knew him. Like he was this hothead, like electric player. So
he's a more hothead version of Tatis to me.
Yes. But I mean, have you seen his workout videos from this past offseason?
Oh, they're incredible.
He got huge.
And this is all. I have an issue with this though. So 11 teams went to that workout. 0 said yes. The last 3 that were on there were the Marlins, Royals, and Yankees, and they all declined. Okay. So there goes kind of my Marlins idea. I still think the Mariners would be great. Look at when that time that Ichiro was there. I read something. It was like 65% of their 25 on MLB was international.
Really?
They're known. Edwin Diaz. They're known for signing these international guys and kind of bringing them all together in an MLB format. And I think him being around guys that know what they're doing and are international like him could really help him out. Not just on the field but mentally.
Okay. Talking about international players, you see Ioannis Cespedes had a workout the other day in front of some teams. I mean, I don't personally, I don't like the guy. He basically just ran out of the Mets clubhouse and just left the team hanging.
And then broke his ankle by playing with some farm animals.
I know. He's a sketchy player. He's always injury prone. He's always been injury prone.
He's a hell of a character. I will give you
I
that.
mean, when he's healthy, he produces, but
Yeah.
he's a liability for a team.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got teams like the normal teams that are looking at him. They were looking at Puig. Now they're looking at him too. You got the Yankees, the White Sox, the Brewers, Blue Jays, Tigers, Padres, Rays, Reds, Marlins, Cubs, and Braves. So I mean, I don't know if any team's gonna actually take a chance on him, but some teams were saying that they did like what they saw. But we'll see where that goes.
I think if Cespedes got a minor league contract and just proved himself again, I think that's the key. I think he needs to prove himself again. He was on that power pedestal for so long, and then he just fell off.
When he went to the Mets and he basically led them to a World Series. New York just held him so high, and we held him like the Mets held him there for a while. They thought he was the answer for them. So I think now that he's been kind of knocked from heaven, he has to figure out himself and he has to figure out his play.
I think another person that needs to figure out themselves is Edwin Encarnacion. I think this is my last one I have for the free agents, and I think this is one of the more notable ones in my opinion. He didn't do that great last year. He hit 220, nothing crazy, but I think if you put him, I think it's more about environment for him than anything. If you surround him with guys who are similar to his type of play, look at the Blue Jays.
Oh, when he was on the Blue Jays, they were all cocky power hitters.
Exactly. He needs to somehow find that fit again, because I don't think New York was the right fit. Mm-hmm. I think the right fits could be the Rangers, Red Sox, or Astros.
I would say the Rangers.
The Rangers, because you have that Chris Davis, Joey Gallo combo. The Red Sox, because I would love to see him just kill that monster.
Yeah.
And the Astros, again, the weather-controlled climate, I think is big for some of these players. Because an older guy like Edwin, who can't move as quick, he's not playing the field. He has to go to an AL team. Because he's a liability in the field.
Oh, he's not playing field anymore. He's too old.
So if you put him around guys who can get on base for him, the Astros, Altuve, Bregman, people like that, Carlos Correa, people on base for him to have the opportunity to hit home runs, and that's why I think the Yankees weren't, because they are a home run hitting team. Mm-hmm. At least with the Blue Jays back in the day, he had Kevin Pillar get on base, he had Josh Donaldson get on base. When there's people on base, he seemed to thrive more. So I think he needs to get back to an environment like that.
So you think that he's more of like a runners in scoring position kind of hitter?
Yes.
Like when he does that, he buckles down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
All right, so moving on from free agents, let's move into some off-season winners. I mean, we can do winners and losers. What do you want to do?
I got one winner from each league. All
right, let me hear. You know what I want you to start out with? I want you to start out with the NL East.
Slam Diego. I will take Slam Diego over New York on this one, and here's why.
Okay.
When they signed Tatis for 13 years. I very much think he can and will be the new face of baseball.
He definitely will be the new face of baseball.
The Mets didn't sign someone of that caliber, of charismatic, young, and he has everything. I think Frankie Lindor has those similar qualities. He's just getting too old for that role.
I wouldn't say that one player makes or breaks an offseason, though.
Oh, no, it doesn't. With the additions of Snell, Darvish, Musgrove, I think that pitching rotation is going to be crazy. Paddock is a hit or miss, I think, for me, just because he's younger. Mm-hmm. I think once he kind of like settles into that 5-spot role, I think he'll be a lot more dominant. But Tatis, Machado, Hosmer, and Will Myers, I think those are 4 of the best hitters in the NL.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
I figured.
I'm gonna tell you, like the Mets, they came out here and they went out and bought. They got Francisco Lindor, they got Carlos Carrasco, they got Taijuan Walker, they got Trevor May, James McCann, Kevin Pillar. They got all these guys, Albert Almora. Like they got all these guys that are gonna produce for them. I mean, Padres went out there, they got some superstars. Mets got players that are gonna be like role players for them that can actually produce for them.
Role players, not superstars.
I don't think superstars matter. We can't even say anything now because we haven't seen how it worked out. But I guess on paper you're right. So they got the superstars. They got the team that's going to be flashy.
And that's one of the reasons why I like San Diego. They are a flashy team. You got the flashy players. Blake Snell doing his little Twitch stream every night. You have Tatis, who could be a 40-40 guy. You have Hosmer, who's going to put up 30 bombs. You have Machado, who's, fantastic defensively and offensively. I think this team is built for the West better for the NL than the Mets are.
I wouldn't say that, though. You got the Mets pitching staff now. Jacob deGrom, Stroman, Carrasco, Syndergaard if he comes back healthy. You got, in the infield, you got Francisco Lindor. You got Pete Alonso at first, Jeff McNeil at second. Third base, you got J.D. Davis, who's coming off an amazing year. Center field, you got Brandon Nimmo. Right field, you got, let's see. Who is our right fielder? Right?
Smith.
Dom Smith, yes. And then left field, we got not Jeff McNeil. We got Michael Conforto.
5 of the players you just named have giant question marks next to their name for me.
And it all comes back to the injuries, but these are the Mets of new. Like we got a new owner, we actually got a new trainer. So I'm just saying, take injuries out of it. Take it out of it for right now.
If you take injuries out, I think the Mets win, but that's unrealistic to look at it without injuries.
With a new trainer?
Still unrealistic. Injuries are going to happen whether you like them or not. If I blow out my arm, what's a trainer going to do?
You're right. Yeah.
When I tear my ACL in half, what's a trainer going to do? Because the injuries that they faced aren't minor. It's not, I tweaked my hamstring. It's, I need to have Tommy John surgery now. I can't wait till the end of the year. I need to have Tommy John now. Syndergaard, if he comes back healthy. J.D. Davis, if he stays healthy. Pete Alonso, if he stays healthy.
J.D. Davis is not an injury-prone player, though.
Okay.
Pete Alonso's not an injury-prone player.
But they've been going on the decline a little bit. That's what I'm saying. There's too many ifs involved.
They haven't even played a season yet. They played last season. They did amazing. They haven't even played a season yet.
I still think...
How are they on the decline?
I think they're on the decline.
How are they on the decline? Tell me.
It's a freezing cold take. I know. I don't think the Mets are going to do as well as everybody thinks.
All right. We'll have to see how that plays out. Okay, let's move on to the AL then.
Definitely the White Sox.
The White Sox, yeah.
I think the White Sox definitely won the AL. Without a question.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. What about the Rangers? No? Not with a pickup of like George Springer, Simeon,
first of all, that'd be the Blue Jays.
Oh, my bad, Blue Jays.
But no, I think they are a winner. I don't think they are the winners.
Okay.
I think the Blue Jays still have a little bit they need to do.
Okay.
Just a little tweaking here and there. I think they need to upgrade the pitching staff a little more, the bullpen a little more. I think the lineup's set. I think their lineup's pretty solid. But, the White Sox had a solid lineup already, and now they added those bullpen pieces.
Yeah.
That's why I think they won. Liam Hendricks, Aaron Bummer, Garrett Crochet, and now you have Kopech coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, you're right.
I think those 4 guys are going to be, the main piece for this White Sox, team if they want to make a playoff run. Because you have guys... Tim Anderson and Jose Abreu have been there. They know what they're doing.
Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu.
They know what they're doing. Now they can lead this group of young guys with Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez. Yasmani Grandal isn't young, but...
He's a nice vet to have in that lineup,
He's a good vet. And then Nick Madrigal. You have guys that are starting to come up through their farm system that they've been just sitting on.
Yeah.
And just working.
Luis Robert is a big piece for them right now.
Yeah, and I think, with all these young guys in the lineup, I think... It was like 7 out of 9 of them were under 26.
That's crazy.
Or 28 or something like that. When you have a lineup like that, that's
Tim Anderson's a very flashy player too.
it has just so much potential for promise, and I think it's more promise than a winner, because they finally gave hope to those White Sox fans that they can finally make a good playoff run.
Yeah, they haven't had a team put together like this in a very long time. So I'm excited to see what happens this season. There's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of kind of like speculation, but what it comes down to is who's going to produce and who's going to go out every day and get the wins.
Yep.
You got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. This episode's been a lot of back and forth between me and Jacob. We, if you guys can't notice, we have a lot of different viewpoints on baseball.
It's just the Mets. It's just the Mets, the stinky freaking Mets. That's all it is.
All right. Well, this has been 278 Sports Street. Thanks for watching. We're gonna catch you next time, guys.
Later, y'all.